Hey guys, my name's Dan, and you're listening to the first episode of the Geek Vault. Today, I'm joined by my good friend Matt.
Hi there, guys. I'm Matt here. We are the Geek Vault. First episode.
So right now, we're currently under some restrictions. You're not allowed to leave your home unless it's essential. So we thought, what better way to pass the time than talking on the internet?
Yeah, thanks to the wonders of modern technology, we can actually do this from the safety of our own home.
I'm literally in my room right now. I spent the first weekend of lockdown painting it, so I'm quite happy. It's new colours, and I feel I'm ready for this.
Oh, that's good.
How have you been spending lockdown?
Been not doing a lot, honestly. Unlike you, I'm not working from home. I'm just off work at the moment at furlough, which gives me a lot of extra time. I've cleaned the car twice. I've been playing a lot of video games, watching a few films. Really not doing a lot. I've cleaned my place here more times than I can count as well. So just trying to kill some time.
I mean, I'm quite lucky that I can work from home, so I still kind of have a routine, Monday to Friday, get up, set up my little mini desk and work. Yeah, I'm basically answering calls in my bedroom. It's quite a surreal experience.
That must be weird, yeah. I need to get into some kind of daily routine like that. It might help make me a bit less crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's just trying to combat the boredness, or there's only so much you can do until you get bored. Like the amount of Warzone I've played already, and I feel like I need a break from it. It's just stressing me out because I just keep dying sometimes.
I know. We were playing it the other night, and it was getting pretty chaotic. And we were so close to winning one game as well. It doesn't help that it's gorgeous weather here as well. So and we're stuck indoors, which is not too bad.
I can't believe how beautiful it is. I actually did something that I don't usually do. I woke up and the first thing I did was go for a run.
Oh, yeah.
And it was beautiful. The weather was just so nice.
That's a good idea.
It's bank holiday weekend today. We're all recording this on Good Friday, so I've actually got the day off.
It is Good Friday today, isn't it? I forgot about that. You would never know.
I was actually meant to be going to the football today to watch Reading v Huddersfield Town.
Oh, that sucks. It would have been a nice day for it as well. It's absolutely gorgeous out here.
I know. It's the world knows we're on lockdown, so the weather's just beautiful. But I bet you, as soon as the restrictions are lifted, we're going to get rain.
Yeah, it'll be back to proper British weather, and it'll be awful again. Well, despite that, we're going to be talking geeky stuff. So, in lockdown, like I say, we're stuck at home. There's not really a lot that we can do apart from play a bunch of video games, watch a bunch of films or TV. I've actually been reading a few comics, actually. I started yesterday. I was reading one of the Spider-Man comics. So we're just going to, I guess we'll talk about some nerdy news and some nerdy shit that we've been up to and hope you guys enjoy.
So, nerdy news, I'm a bit out of the loop. What's been going on? What have I missed?
Well, I've caught up with a little bit of it. Obviously, there's not really much. It's pretty much just been release after release. It's just been, this is cancelled, this is postponed, this is on delay, and so on and so forth. So I know a lot of the MCU movies have been pushed back. I can actually get the new schedule up in a moment.
I know Black Widow was pushed back, and because of Black Widow being pushed back, it's basically had a knock-on effect on the future films.
Yeah, because effectively every film's been pushed back to the release date of what the next film would be, bar some. Well, I've got the release dates here. So Black Widow was due to come out May 1st, 2020, right? So it'll be coming out at the beginning of next month. It's now been pushed back until November 6th, 2020. So it's going all the way back until November. So we're not going to get Black Widow for a while. We were weeks away from it, and now we've got to wait all the way until November until we can see it.
Man, I was really looking forward to seeing her solo movie because, I wasn't too keen on Black Widow in Iron Man 2, but as the films have gone on, I've just fallen in love with that character, and man, Endgame just broke me.
Yeah, I'm amazed it's taken her this long to get her own movie. I mean, I really think she should have got her own movie before Captain Marvel, and I'm sure I'm not the only person to have said that. I've seen a lot of memes as well about, Black Widow has been in the MCU for over 10 years. Her first solo movie finally comes out, and it's delayed because of pandemic. So, typical.
Yeah, typical. She finally gets there, but we've got to wait. That's near my birthday in November. I've got to wait until my birthday to see it, so I guess that's all right.
November 6th would be a nice little birthday present for you.
Early birthday present. But just imagine, right, if we experienced this last year when Endgame was going to come out.
Oh
Imagine
man,
if
that would have been
Endgame
brutal.
was delayed. I don't know what. I feel like that would have broken me.
Yeah, jeez, that would have been brutal. I could not have survived through that. The next MCU movie, by the way, after Black Widow, is The Eternals, which was supposed to be out in November, but of course now that Black Widow has been pushed back to then, that has been pushed back to February 12th.
Wow. So it's just having a knock-on effect, I guess.
Yeah, so it's happened with the next movie, Shang-Chi and the Legends of the Ten Rings, which I don't know anything about, Shang-Chi, although it's supposed to be some brutal martial arts stuff. That's been pushed back now to May 7th, 2021. So about this time next year.
With a lot of other films kind of like, due to come out in cinema, some of them have been like released as home premieres.
Yeah.
So The Invisible Man.
Oh yeah, I want to see The Invisible Man.
Military Wives is one of them. The Hunt and Bloodshot and recently Trolls World Tour. You can like rent them, or I think rent them for like 15 quid.
Yeah, they're available to rent on like iTunes and that sort of thing. I have seen them.
It's a little bit steep, but I'm quite tempted to rent The Hunt and potentially The Invisible Man again, because I actually got to see The Invisible Man in the cinema.
Oh, did you?
And that film blew my mind. That is probably one of my favourite films so far this year.
I do really want to see that. I just have the idea of maybe renting it and waiting until like midnight and then watching it, because a movie like that, I always find that horror movies are a lot better and a lot scarier if you are watching them at home, like as opposed to in a movie theater.
Yeah, in the dark.
Because I know it just feels scarier. Yeah, and you can, you can scream and it's not publicly ridiculed.
I had popcorn and like I had to like I could sense like scary moments coming up, so I just slyly put my popcorn down and kind of, like, got into the position. But like I've got you wear glasses and I wear glasses. Sometimes I can just take my glasses up and it's a bit blurry. So like if something's gonna jump scare, I'll have no idea what it is. Yeah. But I would highly recommend renting The Invisible Man and watching it, because the tension building in that film, I was on edge. You just didn't know if there was someone there or if she was crazy. The kind of storyline of the film is she escapes from a not a very nice person and not a nice partner. He's he's a scientific kind of guy. He's very controlling, and from the beginning credits, you just get hooked in, and it just reels you in and in and in. And it's like she thinks there's someone there, but people around don't believe her. And you can kind of see it, but you're like, is there someone there?
So is the film kind of set up in a way where you don't know if there actually is an invisible man or not for a decent period of it? Does it kind of like hook you on that?
I feel like being the audience goer, you kind of, at first you're not 100% certain, but you follow it with her, and you kind of follow it with her. So you are on point. You do get to know that there is someone there. I don't know if that's a spoiler or anything.
I haven't seen it. There
is an invisible man. It is called The Invisible Man. So
yeah, I'd assume there'll be an invisible man at some point.
Honestly, it was great tension building. Had me on the edge of my seat.
I do really want to watch that movie. I think I might have to get it and rent it and then watch it like one night in the dark and see how quickly I can get back to sleep.
I really want to see it again, and I'm very tempted to rent it again just because I loved it so much. And I think that was one of the last films I saw before the cinema shut.
Yeah, I haven't been to the cinema actually in quite a while, annoyingly, before the lockdown. And now that the lockdown's happened, I kind of wish that I want to go to the cinema. It's kind of the opposite. But I know a lot of movies are going to be coming out on digital now.
Yeah, we might see some more kind of home premieres coming.
Yeah, because the rumour went that a lot of the Marvel movies and stuff might come out on Disney Plus, where actually they're not. Although there is also rumours that because a lot of the MCU movies have now been postponed and pushed back by a certain period of time, they might end up postponing and pushing back a lot of Disney Plus releases of like the Marvel shows, like WandaVision and Falcon and the Winter Soldier and all that kind of stuff, which could be quite upsetting if they do. We've already got to wait until the end of this year to see the first of those kind of shows.
Do you know when the first one's due out?
I don't remember exactly, but I think it's like October, November time at the end of this year. And I don't know when exactly it's supposed to be. I think it's supposed to be either WandaVision or Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I'm pretty sure it's that one. But they were supposed to come out, or at least they still are scheduled to come out at the end of this year. But that might get pushed back if all the movies get pushed back. Because obviously if there's something in the movie that spoils what happens in the show, or vice versa, they're not going to want to show that.
Yeah, that's understandable. So what do you think of Disney Plus so far? I've actually subscribed for a year, and I kind of feel like I jumped the gun with getting a year subscription because there's not much that I kind of want to watch on there at the moment.
Yeah, I've been in two minds about it. I'm on the 30-day trial of it, so I've got the first 30 days for free. So I've been the only real thing I've been watching on it is Star Wars: The Clone Wars, the animated series, because I haven't seen it, and I've had a friend of mine at work who was talking it up so much. The final season's coming out, so I thought, you know what, I'll have that as just telly on in the background, and I'll slowly watch it and get involved. You know what? It's pretty good. I'm up to just beginning of season 3, and it's a decent show.
Yeah.
But apart from The Mandalorian, which I still haven't watched any of yet, because I'm waiting on it, everything else I've already seen and already watched. There's nothing unique on it. It's not like Netflix where you can just browse for really creative, like, different shows and just watch anything. It's everything that's on Disney Plus. You've probably already got like an old DVD of, or you've already seen in the cinema or on telly at some point.
Or you've probably seen it a few times already. It's great for people who absolutely love Disney and just love to rewatch like the animations and all that.
Yeah,
I think. But I feel like I definitely jumped the gun. I've watched the first episode of The Mandalorian, and I want to wait for it all to come out because I just want to binge it.
Man, yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing. I know the reason I haven't watched the first episode is because I know that I'll get hooked and I'll want to see the next one. So I've purposefully kept away from it and not watched any of it, despite the fact that I think it's the first 4 episodes are available now in the UK.
Yeah, the first 4 episodes are on there now, and I think there might be 8 in total. So we've only got another 4 weeks to go.
Oh, okay, that's exciting. We'll still be in lockdown in 4 weeks. That'll be a good week.
Yeah, but like, yep, I know what I'm doing this weekend.
That'll be what I do. Until then, I'm watching the Star Wars Clone Wars, and that's actually pretty decent. Although I kind of just
give that a go.
It's pretty good. Like I say, I'm up to the beginning of season 3. Seasons 1 and 2 are decent. Most of them are like little short stories that last an episode, or maybe like 2 or 3 episodes, but they're really good because they're like these battles that happen during the Clone Wars. But season 3, it seems, I'm only like 2 episodes into it now, but it seems like that actually starts following the clones and like a clone squad. So you actually follow their story, and it feels like it's actually going to be an overarching story for the season, like most TV shows are now.
Yeah.
And you can tell as well the animation quality gets significantly better per season. Because the one reason I haven't watched that show is because the animation on it really looks terrible, for lack of a better word. The animation looks really janky and horrible. But the more you watch it, you very quickly get used to it, and it does get better over the seasons. So it's worth checking out.
I have been looking for something new to kind of... It's quite short episodes, aren't there? So I might have to like have it as like my kind of show that I have on in the background.
Yeah, that's kind of what I've done. They're only like 20-minute, 30-minute episodes. I tend to have them on if I'm having lunch, or if I'm doing editing, or if I'm having dinner, or just maybe even playing a video game. I'll have it on my laptop or something like that. But it's decent enough to watch, and the stories aren't very complicated, so you don't really have to pay all your attention to them. Although there are some episodes that will pop up. Like, actually, I watched an episode last night. There was like a 2-part episode that actually had me hooked because it was really good. If you're going to watch it, I don't really want to spoil it, but there was like... it was really good. It involved this big monster, and it all looked really intense, like a war. But apart from that, most of the stuff that's on Disney Plus that I'm interested in watching is all like MCU related, which I've got most of them on Blu-ray anyway.
I feel like this weekend, one day, I'm just going to watch Infinity War and then Endgame. Just have like a 5-hour session of just that.
Yeah, that's a good idea. On the first day of lockdown, I ended up watching Infinity War and Endgame back to back with director's commentary. I just had them running in the background all day as I was doing stuff, because it's like 6 hours. And I was running it with commentary, so I was like, oh, I'll just do other stuff, tidy the place, that kind of thing, whilst it's on. And it was actually really interesting.
Wow.
That was the first day of lockdown. I was like, oh, I kind of spent that now. What do I do now for the rest of it? Maybe I should just go through... what if I go through the entire MCU with director's commentary?
Well, that's one way to watch it, you know. We've recently just rewatched it all without the commentary. It might be worth seeing what the commentary has to offer.
I heard a thing lately, and I don't know if it's true or not, but in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, you know there's that Mary Poppins line where Yondu was coming down, the one's like, you like Mary Poppins? Is he cool? He's like, hell yeah, he's cool. I don't know whether it's true, but apparently if you look at that footage of when Star-Lord, or when Chris Pratt says, hell yeah, it's cool, his lips don't match his words, because apparently he's actually saying, fuck yeah, he's cool. And they censor it. They censor it in post, and they add in the hell yeah, he's cool. So the hell yeah, what he actually says, doesn't add up in the in the video. And I was watching it, like a little clip, and I was like, it might be true, but at the same time, it might be a stretch. I don't know how true it is, but it'd be hilarious if it is.
Fuck yeah, I like that better.
That'd be amazing.
So, what else have you kind of been following in your lockdown, watching on your lockdown?
Not too much, honestly. Most of my lockdown has been spent playing video games. When I'm not been playing video games, I've had Disney Plus running in the background, watching Star Wars. But I've completed so many games. I completed Mad Max. I think whenever that video game came out, it's an old game now, which I've had for a while. But I finally finished that game. I finished Asterix and Obelix and XXL3, which is a very minor game. I've been a huge fan of Asterix and Obelix since I was a kid. I remember going to the library and reading the old comics, and they have these video games. And a new one came out in November, before Christmas last year, really quietly, didn't even know that it was in production, and it was a sequel to a game that I played when I was a kid. So I played that and finally finished that, although it's not as good as the other two games. I could go on a rant about it because it actually really annoyed me, but I won't. But I completed that. I completed Modern Warfare, the new Call of Duty Modern Warfare that we've been playing a bunch of Warzone on.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've just been going through my game library. I finished Doom, not Doom Eternal. I finished the 2016 Doom because I still hadn't finished that, so I finally got around to finishing that. So I really want to get Doom Eternal because it looks amazing.
I'm planning on playing Days Gone. I got that for Christmas, but I just haven't had time to sit down and play it.
That's supposed to be really good.
So I've downloaded that now, and I'm ready to, fight in the zombie apocalypse.
You totally should. That's supposed to be a really good game. I had my a friend at work who was saying that she was addicted to that game for ages. And then the only thing that made her stop playing it was when Doom Eternal came out. So,
oh man, it's crazy. It's so good that we have video games, and we do have some things that we can distract ourselves with.
Well, a lot of video games have been delayed as films, are the same as films, really. Like I say, most of the MCU films have all been delayed, plus a bunch of other ones. Tons of video games have been delayed as well. One was The Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah.
That's a huge game, and that has been delayed indefinitely, apparently. They haven't actually said when the game's now going to be coming out. But that's now been delayed completely, which really sucks.
It does suck, but it's probably for the best that these things are delayed at the moment.
But there's been a bunch of stuff, and there's a bunch of video game conferences and stuff that have also been delayed and postponed. I've got a friend of mine who's who does commentary on Blizzard games, on Blizzard esport champions and that sort of thing, and a bunch of esport championships have been delayed as well because of obviously pandemic that's going out.
Yeah, it's quite a surreal time to live in, isn't it?
It's really strange.
I went to the shop earlier, and I just got there before it hit a busy peak. So I was at the front of the queue. I looked behind me, and then there was 10 people queuing. I was like, oh, I timed that perfectly.
See, I live out in the middle of the sticks, so I live out in the country. So I've got to walk quite a way to get to the closest shop, and even that shop isn't a big supermarket. It's just a little corner shop.
Yeah. And
it's weird if you go a bit further out of town and you go to one of the big supermarkets, then yeah, they've got tape outside. You've got a queue in a massive queue that goes on for ages with space between you. You're only allowed a certain amount of people in, yada yada. But if you go to the corner shop up the road, that's maybe about 10-15 minute walk away, as opposed to a 40-minute walk, the other one, then they don't have anything. They don't have any restrictions on how many people in at one time. All they've got is a small, because it's a very small shop, a little corner shop. They've got some tape on the ground to keep a little meter, a meter or two away from you. And they've put up a plastic see-through thing at the tills. But beyond that, there's nothing. So the little corner shop gets full up with people very quickly.
Wow.
Which is not good.
Yeah, it's all about social distancing right now.
Exactly. I'm out, like I say, I'm out in the middle of nowhere. You could go out for miles in any direction. You could be lucky to encounter 3 people. But if you go to the corner shop, you'll be chock-a-flock with people. Chock-a-block.
I live in town. Well, I don't live in town, but I live near town. Well, ish. But
Yeah.
like just kind of like there's a superstore like 15 minutes from me, and I feel like the best time to go to the store is at night time because I could just walk straight in.
Yeah.
But like throughout the day, there's just like long winding queues in the car park made out of cages from the store and stuff. It's just insane, isn't it?
I've seen that actually, yeah. I saw that at the big superstore in town before the lockdown started when I was still at work. I would go in and out of town. They got the superstore there, and they had that. They had cages and whatever out in the car park. They'd have the entire car park was full up because half of it is cut off because that's the queue now.
Yeah.
And then the other half is all full up. So you'd have cars like parked on the grass verge, like on the side of it and stuff. It's crazy.
It does feel incredibly British to queue.
Yeah, it's like the British were always good at queuing. We've just evolved. We've like gotten better at it. Like I would not be surprised if after all of this is like over and done with that we just keep queuing like that.
This is it now. The future of queues, 2 meters away. I feel like it might be a good time to round up this little episode. And I think a good way to round it up is maybe a film recommendation each.
That's a good idea. Like I say, I've got a couple of films on my radar that I've been thinking of watching anyway. I don't know if you've watched them already. But I wanted to see Knives Out, which is a new film that's out as well. I think that's one that has been delayed from lockdown, so it's out on rent now.
No, so I actually saw Knives Out in the cinema.
Oh, you have seen it?
Yeah, so I will watch that again because I really do want to watch it again. It is actually a really good film.
Oh, I'm so glad you said that.
It's done by Rian Johnson.
Yeah, Rian Johnson directed it.
And I know people are thinking like, oh, Last Jedi, Rian Johnson.
Yeah, I know. I was a bit skeptical on it as well. But it's very different from how Last Jedi obviously turned out and is. Like, Knives Out looks like it's supposed to be a really good film. And I've been seeing loads of positive things about it. So I'm really curious to see how it is and if it's good. So that's probably on my recommendation.
Definitely need to watch that because I had such a good time with that film. It's got Daniel Craig in it and he's just brilliant.
One other film, I don't know if you've seen it, although I imagine you have, is Doctor Sleep.
Yes, I've seen that one as well.
Because you go to the cinema way more often than me.
You were meant to come watch it with us.
I know, I was. What was I doing? I was delayed or something, wasn't I?
You got stuck in traffic.
Yes! Oh, that was that time. That was so annoying. I remember I came up, like a half-hour journey it takes for me to get to you to go to the cinema, and I left to meet you guys to go and watch Doctor Sleep, and I got stuck in the longest traffic jam up the motorway I've ever seen in my life. I was in there for an hour, so like, because I remember I was texting you saying, "Oh, I might be there, and then it got to like 5 minutes away from the film actually showing. It's like, okay, you got 20 minutes of trailers before to get here, and I was still like in the traffic for an hour after that, so I missed the movie.
I remember slyly texting you in the cinema like, I need to turn my phone off, the film's about to start.
And I was still sitting in a traffic jam behind police. That was chaotic.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah, I do remember that now. That sucks. So I'm going to watch Doctor Sleep.
I really enjoyed Doctor Sleep.
It's supposed to be really good as well. Like, I'm a bit skeptical on it because it looks, from the trailers and stuff, it looks more action-packed. Like, I remember we both watched The Shining in the cinema a few months back before they released Doctor Sleep. I was like, oh, that was insane. It's really tense as well. There's not really any jump scare. There's like one jump scare in the film, but it is not the scariest part of the film at all. But I've seen a lot of stuff from Doctor Sleep in trailers and stuff, and it looks a bit more jump scary, which has me a bit concerned, but I'd like to see it.
It's been a while since I watched it, but I did enjoy it. I thought it was a good story. It was acted well. Ewan McGregor he plays Danny all grown up.
Yeah.
And he's helping a kid who is being hunted by some sort of beings that can sense the shining.
Yeah. They turn it into like the Force or something. I saw a bunch of people joking about that. Like, oh, it's just the Force and it's Obi-Wan.
Moving on with the recommendations, I think one of my recommendations would be a film called Gone Girl. Have you heard of it?
Yes, Gone Girl. I have heard of it. I haven't seen it, but that's Ben Affleck and someone else, isn't it?
Rosamund Pike.
That's it, yeah.
I would recommend giving that a watch. I remember watching that the first time. Like, I watched it on the internet. I enjoyed it so much. The next day I bought it on Blu-ray. It's in my collection now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's adapted from a book, and when it kind of came out, there was like a lot of people talking about it, and I was like, okay, I'll give it a go. I'll see what it's like. But that film, like, it's got some good twists, and it's definitely worth giving a watch.
I might have to then. In that case, I know the biggest like thing I watched recently is I rewatched all of the Alien movies.
Yeah.
From 1 up to Covenant, and my God, when you watch all of them in a row, like. You can see the absolute changes in like quality and they go between. It's insane.
I can't really remember watching Alien much. I feel like that's something I need to rewatch eventually.
I'd recommend it.
Another little film. I was watching something on Amazon Prime last night called Geeky.
Geeky?
Yeah, so it's one of those Amazon Prime originals.
All right.
With Geeky, it's about a guy who's controlled by his phone.
Okay.
And basically what happens is when he buys a new phone, he has a helpful digital assistant named Geeky.
Right.
And it's kind of like, you know, following on from like Geeky trying to like interject into his life. So it's like Siri, but if Siri could do whatever Siri wanted to do. Like if Siri could say what she wanted to say, or, you know, have access to your bank and have access to everything. And this phone basically trying to take control of his life.
All right. Okay.
I mean, the main reason that I put it on, because it was 11 o'clock at night and I didn't want to watch something too long. The film's about an hour and 20 minutes. It's a rom-com, and you can't go wrong with a rom-com. And I'm glad I watched it. I mean, it did have some cringy moments which I didn't quite like, but overall, it had me laughing, and it was a sweet story in the end.
This looks pretty decent. I might watch this. I'm looking at it here, actually. It looks like it's got the main guy in it. Is he from Supergirl?
No, he's
He looks like the guy from Supergirl.
Adam Devine. I don't know if you've seen any of the Pitch Perfects. He's in the first 2 Pitch Perfects.
I have seen Pitch Perfect. I've seen. I don't remember any of them, but I have seen the entire trilogy.
Pitch Perfect's good.
I remember I watched the entire. I was with like a group of people. There was a group of women probably. And they decided, we'll put on all 3 Pitch Perfect movies and we'll have like a movie marathon of them. And I just tuned out, honestly. I was really not interested in them. The first one was decent. Like I was watching them. I was like, oh, the first one's decent enough. Then halfway through the second one, I got really like bored. But everyone around me was like really excited. And then they put on the third one, and by then I was just clocked out. I was like, I don't like this. This movie sucks. I just didn't really get into it.
The third one's a little bit crazy.
Yeah, it got weirder and weirder as the more it went on, and I thought like it just become a bit more samey.
Yeah.
Maybe I should rewatch them and we can do like an episode talking about Pitch Perfect trilogy.
Please watch Pitch Perfect, and then we can talk about it.
Oh God, I've got to do it again.
That's it. That's your assignment. Watch Pitch Perfect.
I'd rather watch Geeky.
No, Pitch Perfect. That's my recommendation for you. Watch Pitch Perfect 1 to 3.
Oh no.
Anyway, it's been good catching up. Thanks everyone for listening, and we hope you enjoyed it. If you've got any kind of recommendations for us to watch, let us know. Or if you've got any kind of thoughts about the podcast, please feel free to let us know.
Yeah, do leave a comment or do something and let us know how this has turned out. This is obviously the first episode, so it might not be perfect. So we'll probably have things that we'll work on and change. So any feedback will be appreciated, and hopefully we'll see you in the next episode.
But in the meantime, you can follow us on Twitter at Geek Vault Pod. You can also find myself on Twitter at the Don Zuko. And Matt, are you on Twitter as well?
I am. I've got a complicated name though. It's Matety1694, which is really strange, and nobody knows how to spell it apart from me. So don't get too worried.
You can find him through me. All right. Well, thanks for listening. Stay safe, guys.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, make sure you wash your hands. Stay indoors.